To get started, let me walk you through what we'll be covering. First, we'll examine how hormones trigger the development of secondary sexual characteristics during puberty. Next, we'll look at the main reproductive hormones in males and females. Then we'll explore the menstrual cycle in detail, including its four main stages. Finally, we'll investigate how different hormones control this cycle. At puberty, the body undergoes significant changes as it develops from a child into an adult capable of reproduction. These changes are triggered by sex hormones. In males, the main reproductive hormone is testosterone. This hormone is produced by the testes and stimulates sperm production. Testosterone also triggers the development of secondary sexual characteristics, such as facial hair. In females, the main reproductive hormone is estrogen. It's produced by the ovaries and brings about physical changes, such as breast development. Estrogen is also involved in the menstrual cycle and helps eggs mature. These hormones don't just appear suddenly at puberty. They're actually released in very small amounts throughout childhood, but their levels increase dramatically during the teenage years. The menstrual cycle is a complex series of changes that occurs in a woman's reproductive system. Each cycle takes approximately 28 days, though this can vary between individuals. The cycle involves the release of an egg from a woman's ovaries and the preparation of the uterus to receive a fertilized egg. If fertilization doesn't occur, the uterus lining breaks down and is shed. The menstrual cycle can be divided into four main stages. Stage 1 is menstruation, where the uterus lining breaks down for about 4 days. Stage 2 involves the rebuilding of the uterus lining. From day 4 to day 14, a thick spongy layer full of blood vessels forms, ready to receive a fertilized egg. Stage 3 occurs around day 14, when an egg develops and is released from the ovary. This is called ovulation. In stage 4, the uterus wall is then maintained for about 14 days until day 28. If no fertilized egg has implanted in the uterus wall by this time, the spongy lining starts to break down and the cycle begins again. This cycle is controlled by a complex interplay of four hormones: follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and progesterone. Follicle stimulating hormone is produced in the pituitary gland. It causes an egg to mature in one of the ovaries, specifically in a structure called a follicle. Follicle stimulating hormone also stimulates the ovaries to produce estrogen, which in turn causes the lining of the uterus to grow. Estrogen has additional roles in the cycle. It stimulates the release of luteinizing hormone and inhibits the release of follicle stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone is also produced by the pituitary gland. It stimulates the release of an egg at day 14 of the cycle, the process known as ovulation. After ovulation, the remains of the follicle develop into a structure called the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone. Progesterone maintains the lining of the uterus during the second half of the cycle. If progesterone levels fall, the lining breaks down, leading to menstruation. Progesterone also inhibits the release of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, preventing further eggs from developing during the current cycle. This entire system works through negative feedback loops. For example, when estrogen levels rise, they inhibit follicle stimulating hormone production, preventing additional eggs from maturing. When progesterone levels rise, they inhibit luteinizing hormone, preventing additional ovulations. If a fertilized egg implants in the uterus wall, it produces hormones that maintain the lining, preventing its breakdown and the start of a new cycle. This is one of the first signs of pregnancy. Understanding these hormonal processes is important not just for appreciating the complexity of human reproduction, but also for developing contraceptive methods and treatments for various reproductive disorders. The precise timing and interaction of these hormones ensure that the reproductive system functions properly, preparing the body each month for the possibility of pregnancy. In our next episode, we'll explore how an understanding of these hormonal mechanisms has led to the development of various contraceptive methods that help people plan their families.